So it is true that when I left that Sacred Heart, I had to come back to talk about this because how Dr. Ellen Joe was having a bunch of strangers. See, it wouldn't make sense that strangers who are lesbians would be chasing me. Uh, had it been some type of secret that I like men, because Solomon and Jacob don't look like no secret to me. Isn't it true when I came in y'all church, y'all asked me about my son's fathers? They both have different fathers. And y'all asked me, and I explained this to you. Y'all asked me why wasn't their last name Powell? I said they both got their daddy's name. Didn't I say that? That's a clear indication that there's two different men. They don't have the same last name. As a matter of fact, quite a few of my friends have children and their children have their father's last names. People do that. They do what they want to do as it pertains to their children. I only said that because you all got in my business. But you ain't helped me. You know, like a social worker does at the case at the welfare office, they ask all your business. That's how y'all act like a welfare office. You ask all of my business. You did. And then what happened was after you asked all my business, you threw me out. See, how do I know? I went in the encounter room back there. They didn't ask about my business back there in the encounter room, actually, to tell the truth. When I told them who I was, see, I ain't gonna call that lady who was back there. I hope she ain't mad at me. She know me. She was down there at that shelter. And she knew that Veronica was harassing me. Veronica Rogers was harassing me. See, Veronica, I'm putting your name out there because you knew I ain't like women and you kept trying to put your hands on me. Veronica, you was harassing me. You was one of the ones, along with a couple other people. Stephen Hill, all at that shelter at Broad and Hunting Park, otherwise known as Sacred Heart. Why would a bunch of strangers be chasing somebody who said they don't like women? That the 10 whole years. And that was in 2021. But before I got there, I was at Susquehanna House. Where was Veronica? Veronica was there. It's about 6 people that from Susquehanna House that went to Broad and Hunting Park Sacred Heart. Didn't Stephon Hill, whatever that lady's name is, didn't she harass me so much that the Department of Probation, you know it's up there in Norristown, you gotta catch that that Norristown speed line. Didn't that lady harass me so much that I had to reach out to her probation officer for her to stop harassing me? So when you say that, Catherine, you are telling a lie. Why does the Department of Probation see? Now I'm gonna tell you that I know that they ain't open unless they open back up. You will go down there and they have a sign up there that say you couldn't just walk in the building because this was 2021, 2020, yeah, 2021. See, I don't have to lie about Stephon Hill harassing me, Temple letting it go on. That's strange. See, I don't knock the fact that you're lesbian, so don't knock the fact that I'm straight. I respect all people, whether it be lesbian. You want me to spell out the acronyms? See, I'm gonna do it for you, so do you know that I really respect their community? Lesbian, bisexual. That's what the B stand for. G, gay. T, transgender. Q, queer. I, intersex. A, asexual. P, pansexual. How do I know what all of those letters stand for? Ex China. Pay attention. Ex China. China. Don't worry, I ain't gonna tell your last name, China, but I had something that China. Right. I know somebody that's down there. So that's why when people say, no, that's not true of me. See, I know what they stand for because I know some people. I'm not in that community. I like men, I do. But Ellen, you accused me of doing something that I didn't do. It wasn't really that you was accusing me of having sex with your husband. See, let's just stop playing around here. Cause that last picture, and I showed up and looked sick. Man, you got a lot of college degrees, but you ain't got no common sense. Somebody show up at your church and they look sick like that, and your brain don't tell you that something. If your brain didn't tell you, your common sense, I'm talking about. That the person that was standing up there in that pink dress wasn't sick. I know that your brain worked. And it don't take no doctor to tell you that that person that was in that dress was sick. You're sadistic. I have proof. Why don't you call over to that hospital and told that hospital to put me out? Because I had what? What I have done, Ellen? Took that medication and it make me sick. So you thought that was funny. I took the medication for my stomach, made me sick, and you told the nurse to put me out. See, and that's why I'm putting out your business, because you thought if I had an accident outside, it would be funny. So now the very thing that made you laugh is about to make you, it ain't gonna make me cry. I guarantee you it's not. I don't really care if anybody knows that I take Lubistrone, aka Amitiza. I see a nurse for my stomach, and I've been seeing her since 2010. So I don't think that I would care if anybody knows that. I've had multiple trips to the ER for my stomach. Every hospital I go in, and I tell them why I'm there. They go back history and they look to see how many times I've been there and what did they do the last time. That means you have a history, Ellen. I do. I have a gastroenterologist at Penn. I do. So then when you tell people that I took my medicine and it made me sick, so what? There are a lot of things I can't eat, like you are sadistic. And I don't really care about you being any of those things. But when you touch down into my real life with harassing me because I don't want to be no lesbian, you try and turn me into a stud because you the woman in the relationship. Let's not confuse that. Rondia was the man. That's why when she came to live with me and Rhonda, she came dressed like with a boy. She had on a wife beater and a pair of shorts. When the staff came in the house, we never said anything wrong to Rondé. Go ask her. You want me to go ask Rondé. We never said anything out of the way to her. We accepted her, embraced her, and we loved her. We did. Rhonda will tell you the same thing. Sorry, Rhonda, I didn't mean to tell these people, but they try to make me look like a lie, Rhonda. Uh-huh. Yeah. See, I was a good housemate to Rhonda and Rondé. Don't be trying to twist it up. It was just that Rondia had dealt with you. She was coming to stay with us. We was a good little bunch over there. We was. I actually picked Rhonda when we was doing another house. We didn't pick Rondia. So see, we were already there before Rondia got there. Me and Rhonda had lived together before when I first got there with Lauren. Okay, so I know Rhonda. Rondia came, she was the new person to the program that will help you get your life back together if you were homeless and had other issues. See, back then, they weren't really telling anybody about who they were. Now they are, they're advertising. Back then, they wasn't. When I mentioned that program to people, to this day, people still don't know who they are. And they've been around for about 40 years. They've been around so long that the man that helped founded them, I think he has retired. When I called back to ask for him, they said he retired. Right. They've been around for a long time. Very good place. So that's why I mention it, because they're not no shabby place. They're not. And if you're saying that I need to be in that type of community again, then why my insurance won't pay for it? See, when we're going to talk about Catherine not doing her homework, why won't my insurance pay for me to go back there? Oh, I know. Because they said that you don't meet the guidelines. You left there in 2013 and it is now 2026. You don't meet any guidelines and you've had multiple places to live. See, in order for you to go back to live there, you have to have something really mentally wrong with you. That's not my case. First of all, as soon as I told the lady I ain't been in medicine in 13 years, that automatically put me in the negative, because if it was something really psychiatric wrong with me, I'd have been in somebody's hospital. I'd have been. So see, your stories don't make sense. I just was at a hospital, not a slouch of a hospital either, Penn. So all those doctors I see at Penn, anxiety and ADHD are not the type of disorders that would make anybody say she needs to be back in that program. My doctor wouldn't even sign the paper for me to go back in that program if we were to be technical about it. None of my doctors wanted me to go back there. So, see, when people are saying, Catherine, you don't do your homework, that's not true. None of my doctors wanted to sign because it could have came from anybody. They didn't want me to go back. None of my doctors. Why? Because they know, first of all, the fact that they will come in my hospital room and see me making up my bed, that's a sign of competency. A doctor seeing you make up your own bed and you just had surgery. Competency. A lot of people that are incompetent can't do those things for themselves. Right. So, ZX, the next time you tell somebody that I'm not competent, don't forget to tell them that my surgeons over there at Penn saw me making up my bed. Right. Right before I left, they caught me. My back was turned to the door. And when I turned around, they were in there. They walked in there and said they wanted me to get on the bed. They didn't want me to really make my bed up, but they said that if I felt that I could, then to go ahead. The doctor having a whole conversation with me about me making up my bed. Hmm. Right, ZX. You just keep running around here telling people that I'm incompetent, and I'm having a conversation with a doctor about activities of daily living. It's called ADLs. Right. All of this coming from a man that lives in a stolen house. See, while you do lives on me, ZX, make sure you dot all of your I's and cross all of your T's. Because I'm not no slouch in my life. I just told you that my doctors did not want me to go back to that program because they said that it's been 13 years. You go shopping by yourself, to the movies by yourself. What you need to be back there for? Those people that are there, they need assistance. They need staff to do things for them. I don't need staff to do nothing for me. Right. See, if you all would stop trying to make it seem like, Pastor Walla Ellen, stop trying to make it seem like I'm middle because I don't want to have sex with your wife. I ain't supposed to want to have sex with your wife. I've been straight. I'm not supposed to want to. Hey, Georgia Peach. I just wanted to give y'all a little light, not too much, not too little. But, you run around here and tell people. See, I don't have to really tell people about Rondia. Rondia lived with me. She did. I think it was L203. I'm not exactly sure. Primarily because they've changed the name of the apartment complex. And I ain't been there in 13 years. I can't tell you whether it was L2. I don't know. I know where it's at, Front and Godfrey. That's true. But I came to spill my own tea because you tried to make it seem like Rondia was a figment of my imagination when Rondia is a darker skinned woman, darker than I am, at least by 2 shades with a close cut. Wore a wife beater, not a t-shirt. See, wife beater. Don't they sell them in the corner store or at Walmart? But she had on one when I first met her in a pair of shorts, flip-flops, and socks. See, when I met her son was about 4 shades lighter than me. He was real light-skinned with curly hair. Handsome young man. So how would I know that about Rondia and you if Rondia didn't really live with me? Oh, and there was one more thing. I allow Rondia to have cable. So you ain't know that, huh? I let Rondia have cable. I am the person that paid for the cable in the house. Oh, you didn't know that? Right. See, the program provided a TV, but they didn't pay for cable. So if the participants wanted cable, they could do so as long as somebody could get cable in their name. I had the cable in my name in that house. Right. Apartment. That's why anything that you could say, you're just lying. Ron did had cable. I allow her to have cable. She just had to pay her portion of the cable bill. Right. So it ain't like Casper running around here without facts, proofs, and receipts. Okay. I'm gonna let you have that. See, I'm trying not to embarrass Pastor Wilder because he know he been married to a lesbian. He know that. Maybe he ain't know when he first got married, even though when I first met his wife, I actually looked at her and said, how he marry her and she like girls? I don't his eyes were darkened. So I'm sorry. He couldn't have seen that. And maybe he didn't find out until about month two, but he definitely known these 40 years. Cause didn't Ron dear, didn't she come to your house? Why she say you sleep in the basement, Alan? How you think I know that? Your wife just wants you to pay the bills. You're allowed to do that, sir. You're allowed to do that. But the thing you ain't allowed to do is tell no lies on me about no stalking. Cause I ain't came to your house, but Rondia did. See, I ain't came to your house, but Rondia told me how the inside of your house look and everything. I ain't never told them people that. I did not. If you gonna tell some lies on me, make sure you tell accurate facts. Rondia, your wife lover was one been to you, not me. I only know that you sleep down in the basement because Rondia told me that. Now I've been there. No, I have not. See, Radia was the one that told me that she'd been there. And Stephanie, Stefan, just trying to transition from a woman to a man. She was the one that tried to beat me up over there at Broad and right there at Broad and Honey Park. Sacred Heart. How many times did her probation officer have to be called? Why did your wife have me 302 to Einstein? You don't want me to say what Einstein is around here. I'm gonna be quiet about Einstein. Ain't that nice of me, Pastor Wilder's daughter? I ain't call your name. Ain't that nice of me? See, I ain't really trying to put y'all out there. I'm just telling that your mama is a troublemaker. I ain't tell what it is. First lady, you know which first lady I'm talking about. Okay, right. Hope you be a better first lady than your mama. That's exactly what I said. Hope you are a better first lady than your mama, doing the type of stuff that your mama do. Cause your mama do stuff that's not right, and your daddy always want to uphold her, make everybody else. No, everybody else don't got a bow or bend to no lesbian, cause she married to a man. No, don't nobody else got a bow or bend to a lesbian, cause she got a ring on her finger. She married to a man. She don't want you. That's why you sleep in the basement. You're just there to pay the bills. That's your business. But don't ask me. They have nothing to say to Ellen because Ellen already know I don't like women. She ain't got enough money to flip me. I'm not no pancake. Pancake get flips, Catherine, do not. One more time. A pancake get flipped because it needs to cook on the other side. I'm not a pancake. Oh, I choose the way that I wanted to walk a long time ago. See, the song says, I started out a long time ago, and there is no doubt in my mind. I decided to make Jesus my choice. But I'm going to leave you with this. The Bible says in Joshua 24 and 15, you might want to copy this scripture down, Alan, because I know you got all them degrees, but you don't really know the word. But learn from me today. The 24:15, Joshua. Here we go. If it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom ye will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land you dwell. But as for me and in my house, we will serve the Lord. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading of his word, and may it sanctify deep within your heart.